Greetings, YouTube. Fishsuit here. Welcome to episode 5. What you're seeing is episode 5 of our Rime of the Frostmaiden campaign. We live stream these sessions every other Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern right here on my Twitch channel. You can see the chat just loving being live here on YouTube. So come and join us over here on Twitch, guys. Come and join us over here on Twitch every other Monday for our Rime of the Frostmaiden campaign. Now, tonight, we have a hashtag guest bard. Gamer Heroine, who you might know as Gamer Bardwin from our other campaign, is going to take over for Sunflower tonight. So she's pretty familiar in that bard role, so she'll be playing the role of Cleo for tonight's session. Now, when we have a guest like this, we do shorten our sessions down. Usually these are about 4 hours long. I divide them into 2 episodes for YouTube. But tonight you'll just get the whole kit and caboodle here. Everything that you see for our session 3 will be tonight's episode 5. So I hope you guys enjoy. The follow on Twitch, the subscription on YouTube means a lot, and we'll go ahead and get started. Enjoy session 3, episode 5 of the Rime of the Frostmaiden. Greetings, everybody.
Whoa.
Hello, fellow innocent.
Gamer Heroine, you want to give us Gamer Heroine, just want to summarize the events that have happened so far in the campaign?
Me?
Yeah, go ahead. Just tell us what happened. You know, we've only done 2 sessions. Go ahead and tell us every detail that's happened in those 2 sessions.
Wasn't there like 4 sessions or something? I don't know. I tried to watch a VOD. There was this
this is going great so far.
Vlor swindled people and they bought stuff.
Yeah, that's all that's happened.
And Cleo
actually, well done.
Fucked over the there's a lot of things. And there's gold and there's ice and there was a storm and a hatch.
Oh, there was a hatch. That's true. There was a hatch. There was a lot of debate around centering around that hatch, to be honest.
I watched on 2 times speed over that hatch.
Even at 2 times speed, there was like an hour of just only a hatch.
That's so true.
Thank you, Gamer Heroine, for joining us. Our Sunflower, our bard, unfortunately can't join us tonight. She's working, so we'll pick her up in the next session here, and assuming you don't kill her character, which is always possible. But thanks for stepping
mortified.
in. The last session we ended with sort of some somber news, some somber stories here at the Hook, Line, and Sinker Tavern, which is here in Caer Konig. So, you guys returned from your expedition. Got into a little kerfuffle, I would say. Lord, do you think that's fair? Kerfuffle?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay, got into a little kerfuffle. Did they open the hatch? They did open the hatch. You'll have to see what happens when they open the hatch. I believe that they threw a fart bomb down the hatch. If I recall correctly, they threw a fart bomb down the hatch.
Yes, we did.
We set fire in the hole.
But you were kind of stopped anything further from developing by talking to the town speaker Trovis. He's a silver dragonborn, bit of a lush, and I think that Jordy kind of found some common ground with him. It's like, oh yeah, we were in that drinking contest, and Jordy had won the drinking contest days before, and calmed him down, kind of got him on your side. He diffused the situation with the Frozen Far Expeditions guy, and then you were drinking at the Hook, Line, and Sinker that evening. Now, everybody, I believe, has at least a couple layers of exhaustion attached to him from being out in the cold and the wind. But, you know, you did return to civilization here. You have your cart filled with ingots. That is a quest turn-in item. If this was an MMO, there would be somebody with a golden question mark above their head in Bryn Shander. But you ended the last session on some kind of news that some of you guys knew. So Kindar knew this a little bit, maybe not to the extent that Jordy knew for sure, but that some of these towns, not necessarily Caer Konig where you are now, but some of the 10 towns have taken to human sacrifice to try to appease the Frostmaiden. And so Jordy knew that. Kindar was somewhat aware of it. The other two characters not at all aware of it until they started to have this discussion. So some of the towns, they have this lottery system where they sacrifice someone in the town. They tie him to a post out in the tundra and just, let him freeze to death. Some of the towns, for instance, Kerkoning, where you are now, take the day's catch of knucklehead trout. This is every full moon or every new moon. They take out the day's catch of knucklehead trout and kind of tie it up outside of town, similar to what they do with the people. And then some of the other towns that can't give up their catch or their people give up warmth, so no fires, no light, anything like that. And so we ended last session with you guys having just found out this news. You are at the hook, line, and sinker in Kerkonig. After a long day's travel, everybody's got some exhaustion attached to them. If there's anything else you'd like to do there, you're welcome to. Otherwise, you do have some rooms at the Northern Light where you could retire for the night. I'll turn it over to you guys.
Well, we just learned that there's a notorious thief in the town after we just made a massive scene with our sled of very valuable raw materials.
Yeah.
So even though we're all exhausted, I think it'd be best for us to set up some kind of watch out at the stable. Because then we could kill two birds with one stone. Because if we catch the thief, then we'll earn kind of favor from the town speaker, more so than we already have. And we won't have anything stolen.
Plus, we'll get some birds.
Yeah, so good call there. Is another thing I didn't mention in the little recap was that you found out also that the town has had a rash of thefts. That there's been things that are missing. This isn't a town where a lot of people keep a lot of valuables, but people that do have some valuables and some like even like town monument type stuff, like the lantern at the Northern Light, that stuff has all gone missing recently. So you just found out about that from the speaker as well.
Just want to double check. It's not us, right?
Totally fair question. Completely fair question. No.
Not all of us.
I don't think so. Look on your character sheet. Do you have the lamp?
I think I have. Wasn't there like first session? Didn't Cleo steal something out of your pocket? It was,
but he through a couple good rolls, he got that returned to him. Actually,
Okay.
Yes.
He straight up commanded her.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
I got snowshoes, but yeah, no lantern. No lantern. Firm.
Okay.
We can move on from the mystery.
Yeah, I agree with the watch. Do our rooms happen to have a window overlooking the area?
Yeah, I would say so. I think that there's did you guys end up with separate rooms, or is it all you guys were one big room? I kind of feel like you were leaning towards one room, but
No, because did we end up going two different ways? Did we talk to the mayor, or did we all go talk to the mayor?
We all went to
you
the mayor.
all went to talk to
We
the
all went to the
mayor,
mayor.
and then afterwards you all went to the Northern Light and secured lodgings. I just can't remember if you got in 4 rooms or one big room. Either way, I mean, if you want to say everybody got a separate room, I'm fine with that. So however you wanted to have arranged the lodgings, we can just say that that's what happened.
Oh, I'm not shy.
We're all sleeping one pile for warmth.
On top of the ingots.
That did cross my mind. I just couldn't get another point of exhaustion.
Yeah, and I think that Gusto actually spent some time before you went to the hook, line, and sinker just inventorying the ingots. So
Yep.
you have a precise count of how many ingots there are.
And you put them in like a Jenga tower, I think.
That's right. You put them in like a cylindrical tower that we said that it would be pretty obvious to you, maybe not anybody else, but to you, that if something was moved or taken.
Plus, there's a chance it'll fall on them too.
Built-in trap.
Come out next morning to like a bludgeoned corpse under a pile of ingots.
Wouldn't that be easy?
Nope, there's your thief. I'll check that forward.
Yeah, so we'll set up watches.
Okay.
Are we doing the watches from like inside the inn and just kind of like looking out at the stable?
Yeah, and so you could actually probably do that from like the ground floor,
Mm-hmm.
like dining room, if you wanted to like be down there.
That would probably
Um,
make more sense.
You'd be closest to it, but you'd also be inside, so you'd have some warmth. You wouldn't be like sleeping outside.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so who would be first watch, second watch?
I'll take first.
I'll take second.
Take
Third.
third. Oh, fine. Bard can take it. I'll be last.
And then Kindar's gonna wake up early and take the first watch of the day.
I'm a morning person. Or night person.
All right,
When are we going to sleep?
Yeah, well, before you did have to, Kindar, you did have to sleep in the middle of the day because you were like crazy exhausted. So you did get some weird sleep. You and Gusto got some like weird middle of the day sleep in like a cold dwarven bunker. Alrighty. Everybody gets the benefit of a long rest, so you can recover all of your HP and gain your spell slots back. As you make it through the night, no issues at all with the ingots. Nothing that anybody passively perceived anyway. Yeah, it's gonna be. Let's see if I can do it, GH. I don't remember what the command is. Oh well, I'm not gonna worry too much about it. Just know that she has full HP, and if you keep track of it the way you're keeping track of it there, GH, the system will keep track of it correctly. It just won't appear on the screen correctly, which I'm not that worried about.
Cool.
Okay, it is the next day. You are still here in Kirkonik. It's actually kind of a nice day today. It was like a little overcast, but today is actually probably one of the warmest days since you guys have been out.
Ooh.
The snow packs a little bit underneath your feet as it's like kind of that melty, good snowball snow if you're from a place that has snow.
So, should probably check the sled first. That's the first thing I would do, that Jordy would do.
So you head down to the where the ingots are, and you meet Kindar down there, who's just finished his last watch, his morning watch.
Good morning, Jordy. Warm day we're having here, eh?
It's pretty warm for a dark, frozen hellscape, yes.
Well put.
Everything go all right on your watch?
Yeah, no problems here. How about you last night?
Nope, not a peep.
So what are you hoping to do today?
Hopefully we can get to the next town and possibly rest there, because we're still quite exhausted.
Yeah, so did we decide, is it you get rid of all your stacks or just one? I think it's all of them, honestly.
That's it.
It's
I thought it was one.
Just one? Okay, so that'll take Cleo to 2 stacks and everybody else has 1 exhaustion.
Can you remind us again what happens at 1 exhaustion?
Yeah, at 1, I think you just have disadvantage on ability checks.
Yep.
And then with 2?
2 is your movement speed is halved.
Cool. Okay.
And again, if you didn't see the last episode, that exhaustion was from being out in, excuse me, essentially like a blizzard without any cold weather clothes. Their cold weather clothes
And some great luck on our skill checks.
Yes. Yeah, and then some fantastic navigation and skill checks.
Just so everybody's aware, I did take guidance in my morning preparations. So that'll definitely help.
Boy, you should have
if
done
we get
that.
into-
You should have done that the day before. Man, would have been so helpful.
Shucks.
Okay, any other business here in Kirkonig? Or are we gonna move on? I imagine Augusto would have woken up by now. You guys had some, having some breakfast there at the Northern Light.
Breakfast, yes. I
guess it's knucklehead fish again.
Yeah, it's only knucklehead trout for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Extra knuckly.
Yeah. So on our way, I want to kind of buddy up to Kindar, ask some questions
Okay.
whenever we're ready to leave.
Okay.
Well, are we? I think we're good to move on, unless there's
I'm
any
good
other
to go.
business anyone has.
Maybe we should stop by the expedition shop and pay him a visit real quick. Just to see how things are
Little
going.
not a boo boo.
I'm kidding.
Flip 'em off.
I'm kidding. I don't care.
Could stop by the mayor and just like thank him for like the hospitality. 'Cause we could have got screwed if he wasn't nice to us.
Yeah,
Like,
he's on the
that's
way
it,
out
just
of
a little
town
flavor.
too, so that works.
Yeah, so you guys grab your cart, right? Jordy's like, oh, another day of dragging this fucking cart. Remember, they have a cart that has about 600 pounds of iron ingots on it, and so you guys are hauling it. Jordy's pulling it.
And all of the ingots were still there, right?
All the ingots were still there. You did not notice anything in your
The trap was not sprung.
Yeah. What's the shape of DNA?
A double helix.
Full helix.
So the ingots are still in their double helix. So you guys are heading out of town. Everybody feeling a little bit more rested than you were. Still not 100%. Cleo's still moving a little slow. Maybe even every 100 feet or so, she hops up on the cart, makes Jordy pull her for a couple hundred feet, jumps back off. You guys get to the speaker's house where there was a big confrontation the previous day, and you actually notice the speaker. He's passed out in some bushes in front of the house. You can see his feet up over with a little bit of snow on his boots.
Jordan would go make sure he's still breathing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
he's
if not, if his boots are my size.
His boots would be your size, yes, and it does look like he's conscious. He's just he's unconscious. He's still breathing. He's not dead, Jordy. He's not dead.
All right.
I'd like to check his pockets.
Sure. Yeah, give me a. Why don't you give me a sleight of hand check?
Hold on, whole new ability. Sleight of hand.
If I noticed it, I'd slap her hand.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Well,
same.
then make a contest this. Contest her 15 sleight of hand with a perception check.
You both me and Floor.
Sure.
I just want to check his wallet to make sure it's him.
You were right
know?
up there, especially Jordy. I'm checking to make sure he was okay, so you'd be able to contest this. Yeah, Gusto, you see her kind of scoot up to Trovis and then start to pat him down.
What are you doing? He just kept us out of trouble yesterday.
I just got double check his ID.
Like you double checked mine?
Oh, me again?
Yeah, I mean, I had to verify it was you.
Identity doesn't change when you get drunk.
That's debatable.
Fair. Does his door seem like it's unlocked? I'd like to go
Yeah, it looks
check
like he
it.
actually, if you look closer at him, he actually had his keys in his hand, and then probably just went like ass over into the bushes there next to, like he's right next to the front door.
See, like we could have found his keys if I
I'll ask Jordy if he'll help me carry him inside.
All right, I'll help him out. I feel like Jordy can just like one arm, just like boop, and walk in there.
And I'll scope the place out.
I will too.
Yeah, we'll come in.
Oh, and me and Kindar heard like Flora and GH talking, right? Because we didn't know, because that happened when we were sleeping when he confronted her. So we just heard that it's like, yeah, like he checked mine, and I would think we would be like, wait, checked his.
You don't know.
Yeah, you might have overheard that, but you probably have not drawn any conclusion. Like you don't know what it means, right? If you want to store that in your back pocket and like role play it out later, Jackson, I'm totally down with that. But
Yeah.
you were right there, so you absolutely heard it.
Yeah, so
So you take Trovus, you're kind of carrying Trovus into his house. The front area of the house is sort of like it's kind of like a large open office. This is where you might be able to meet with like half a dozen people or so. There's a kind of a meeting table. And as you move like towards the back of his house, that's clearly like the front area is his official capacity as speaker, and the back area of the house is kind of where he lives. And so, he has a pretty like modest, looks like he lives a pretty modest life here. Not, there's no real decadence. Bunch of empty liquor bottles, wine bottles around the house. And you find a way to his bedroom and you lay him down in bed.
yeah, I feel like since Jordy's like, he's big for a dwarf, but he's still 5 foot, he's probably like knocking all his shit over while carrying him. Kind of like carrying like, oh, where I go? And just like
yeah, and like
crafting
bottles are falling. Exactly. Yeah, bottles are falling off of tables, and you're like pushing like trash on the floor. It's like he doesn't live in squalor, but clearly his agenda is to wake up and start drinking, and housekeeping is not high on his list of priorities.
Before Jordy's rampage, did it seem like the place had been tossed?
Why don't you give me an investigation check? Just looking around.
Ooh.
Glad you put that +0 on there.
Well, you have to know that it's +0.
Yeah, I just like Jordy carries him through there, and it's just like there's more of a mess than existed before, but also it was kind of a mess to begin with. It looks like the front of the house is more like kept, Gusto, like that's where he might entertain visitors, or if anybody had to come to him in some sort of official capacity, like that seems like it doesn't look like the back of the house, right? It doesn't look like lived in. It's like pretty pristine, but also probably not heavily used. But you don't get a sense that like there's no open window. It doesn't look like there's somebody been in there ransacking the place.
Except for Jordy, who's
now knocked over bottles, but finally got Trovus into bed.
He like rolls him on his side in case he throws it. Like Jordy's been through this before with drunk people.
Jordy's like, that's how Hendrix died.
Bucket.
I'll leave him a little note saying, we found you outside this morning, brought you in. Best of luck.
Kisses.
Thanks for not lynching us.
And I sign it Gusto.
Oh, okay. Is the O a heart?
No. No.
All right, just making sure.
I'd like to go back and change that out to art.
It's in Pathfinder, you can do forgery, and that would be nice.
What?
Make a forgery check.
I was thinking sleight of hand, but
If you actually want to do that,
Actually,
yeah.
I have a forgery kit.
you can.
But you're the one I'm for.
So he would know, most likely.
If I didn't see it, I wouldn't know.
Okay, are we moving on?
Looks.
Ooh,
looks
that
like
was
Chief
a
wants to
sneaky
change that to
heart.
heart.
Do you want? Would you like to contest that, Gusto?
No, I didn't
All right,
see
so
it.
now it's canon that you left the speaker the note that was signed to Gusto, and the O in Gusto is a heart.
It's okay, because nobody knows who that is.
It's true.
We still. He only called himself Lore. We
It's
still
true.
know him as Lore.
But yeah, so everybody in the party knows him as Vlor. Nobody knows him as Gusto. But now, actually, Cleo knows about that note.
Nice.
So in your
Sounds
head,
good.
you're like, he signed that note, Gusto. Now that's information that you have. Okay, anything else in care? Jesus, my wife just like knocked over everything, sounds like downstairs. Any other business in Care Koenig before we move on?
I'm good.
All right, let's back out. We'll take a look at Icewind Dale as a whole here. Not your whole, Vlor. That's different.
That's a heart. What are you talking about?
Okay, so we just left Care Koenig, and you can see that we're heading down to Care Dinaval. It's halfway down Lac Dinashir. From Care Koenig to Care Dinaval. Excuse me. It's about 2 hours, not too far at all. It's a pretty good path. Like I said, some of the snow is melting today. It's a little bit like brighter out, even though it's still dark. You know, it's nighttime, but it's like a little bit brighter. It's still overcast, but that sun seems like it wants to peek through, but it just can't make it through. But it is a little bit warmer. The snow is a little bit meltier. And it's actually a little bit easier travel than it has been for the last couple of days. And you make it down to Care Dinaval with pretty much no issues. And let's take a look at Care Dinaval. It's the first time we've been here in a couple of weeks, I think since session 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll remind you just quickly of what this town looks like. Excuse me. In generations past, travelers to Care Dinaval had to follow the rocky shore of Lac Dinashir until after several hours they spied a small fortress, the Care, for which the town is named, jutting up from the prominence of where it overlooks the lake. So you can see it's a smattering of houses, figure about 100 or so people live here. Jordy would probably have a lot of that information.
Looks to Jordy.
How many people live here?
So on our way here, I would have buddied up to Kindar and told him that, we're heading past that wonderful keep that you were so keen on avoiding. Care to talk about it now?
Oh yeah.
Well, I did tell you guys that I would tell you at some point if we moved on, so I feel like it's only fair that I keep my word. But I'm not just going to tell you, Vora. I want to tell everybody so that this is information that everybody can have.
Yeah.
So back before everybody arrived, before I met all of you, I'd come to this. There's a. Put it simply, there was a cult of tieflings that are at the Care, and there was a tiefling who had disappeared from the cult around the time that I had showed up in town. Once the cult heard about a tiefling wandering the town, they sent some scouts capture me, thinking that I was the one who had disappeared from the cult. assuming I would be killed once they found out I wasn't the one who had disappeared. I used the friend spell to convince the leader I was an old friend, and he let me go. And so I haven't had good experiences in this town, and this town is corrupt, full of cult leaders and cultists. Don't trust any tieflings you find in this town other than me.
Disturbed Smurf, thank you so much for the follow, dude. Welcome to the fish tank.
Well, I wanted to rest here, but I don't know if I want to rest in the town of a cult. So if you don't feel comfortable stopping here to rest, then we can keep moving to the next town.
Did they have any beasts of burden or modes of transportation here?
Are you asking me that or Kindar?
Kindar. It's been here.
Kindar, you would... Yeah, you, unlike Caer Koenig, where there's sort of that expedition shop, no such place exists here in Caer Dineval, and actually the only inn here in Caer Dineval is like an abandoned, like kind of torn down building.
From what we had seen before, this has been like a very there wasn't a lot of activity here, right? There was like from when we visited the last time when we were on our way through, there wasn't a lot of activity, and I think the cult probably sucked up all the resources.
Yeah, that's right. There's it's like everybody's kind of keeping to themselves. You can see some as you. I'm imagining you guys coming into the town now from the north, and as you're getting closer to the town, Gusto is, talking to Kindar. Kindar relays the story, and Jordy and Cleo, you guys hear the story as well about cults at the Caer. And as you get kind of closer in, you're, I would say like about right here or so, and you can kind of look down and you can see some activity on the docks. Just fishermen going, either in and out. Not a whole ton. There's not like a lot of excitement. It's just like people looks like they're going about their day. Through the town itself, yeah, you don't really see much going on at all. There's, it's probably everybody's either inside doing whatever they're doing, in their houses, or they're doing the day's catch at this point.
Oh, I think we should just keep on moving since there's a cult here. I don't want to mess with a cult, especially if they know Kindar already.
They're gonna be wanting our ingots. I'll tell you that much.
My ingots? Get out of here.
You shut the fuck up.
Just like he just like starts going faster with the ingots down the street.
Gusto has a little chuckle about that.
Okay, so heading back to heading straight through Caer Dineval, is that what I'm understanding? We're just gonna try to keep moving on.
Yeah, it sounds a little too sketchy here.
At least get our ingots back to those dwarves while they're still waiting for us.
Right, and so they are in Bryn Shander, which is let's go back out to our Icewind Dale map.
It's like twice as far.
From Caer Dineval to Bryn Shander, it's a 10.5-hour walk. So that's pretty much the rest of your day if you're heading right there. Is that what I'm hearing then, right there?
Yeah, I think that's best bet.
All right, and so with relatively little fanfare, you spend the day traveling first south from Caer Dineval to the Eastway, this 4-way stop, and then you start heading west along the Eastway, and you make it into Bryn Shander in the evening. After a long 12 hours on the road, you successfully make it into Bryn Shander.
Now this is a town.
It is.
It sure is. Well, I guess the first thing we would do is go to like the bar or inn where we saw the dwarves at. Let's because they're either be there or the innkeeper or barkeep would know where they are.
Sure. So you head over to the North Look, which is where you met the dwarves the first time. It's up here near the North Gate. And you see your employer there, Jordy, right? Because you were working at the North Look.
Yeah, it was just kind of like one day I showed up and I liked the guy and someone was causing trouble, so he solved it and the guy was like, "Hey, just stay here."
Yeah, so that guy's name is Scram Sacks.
Oh no.
Scram Sacks.
You should get a refund.
So he greets you and he's like slaps you on the back. You've been gone for 5 days or so, I want to say. It's been better part of a week. You look a little worse for wear. Maybe some frostbite on the tip of your nose, that kind of thing. And he says, for the first thing Scram Sacks does, Jordy, is he offers you room and board. So everybody gets a free room and board. And then he says that the dwarves said that should you return to town, that you should meet them at the Black Iron Blades, which is right here if you're looking at your map. It's a smithy shop that stands just north of the main square.
So we've been traveling, so we could rest, but then we had to do something with the ingots till then, or we could just go straight there.
Yep.
I say we have a single drink, and then we head straight there. I'd like to get rid of these ingots.
These motherfucking ingots.
There's a lot of
Nothing to worry. We don't have to watch those for another night, and
yeah.
So you sit down. Old Bitey is up on the wall there. Remember Old Bitey, the big knucklehead shroud? It scares another unsuspecting patron as it jumps up and starts singing as it walks by.
Jordy is once again infinitely
He just slaps his knee. Just slaps his knee. Loves it. Grab your drink and then so maybe just like for the first time in a while, you're in Bryn Shander. Take a deep breath. You've been on the road. This has been a long day. That's been part of a longer week where you guys have been out in the cold, out in the wilderness. You started to see, you saw some shit that's gonna presumably lead to some other adventures in this adventure path. So you have some idea of what's going on out there. Your first time out in Icewind Dale, really.
Yeah. While we're having a drink, I want to pull Floor aside and ask him about the thing where Cleo did the same to him earlier. Going through his wallet. Like, I would like to pull him aside, just me and him.
Sure.
Before we leave. So, what was that earlier about Cleo doing the same thing to you that they did trying to do to the mayor?
Oh,
I would like to mouth the word gusto without saying it out loud while staring him in the eye.
That was pretty good.
Wow. She just got a bit handsy.
I'd like to give him a mean look.
Handsy,
huh?
Nothing bad. Just a bit handsy. Women love the merchants,
Should I roll insight on that? Because I feel like I will notice like his facial expression change for a second. Because I imagine like Cleo's like behind him, and he just sees Gusto is like,
Give me a perception check. It's not looking good here. It's not looking good. Yeah. Nope. Been a long day, Jordy. You know, you're just like,
Yeah, it's been a long
Been
day.
a long day. Still exhausted.
Jordy just does not care at the moment.
Hid it behind my drink.
Or the
Kindar, why don't you roll a d10? So Jordy takes Gusto aside, and you're kind of not part of that conversation that happened just then, Kindar. And so you're sitting, sipping a glass of water as you do, surveying the inn, and you overhear at another table. It's not exactly even like I can imagine Kindar like having like a real, almost like a radio dial that you have to tune in to the station. So until you're tuned into the station, it's just like as you tune in, and just suddenly you kind of find that fine tune in your psyche, and you hear pretty clearly a conversation at one of the tables across. They're talking about the day's catch in one of the other 10 towns called the Dugan's Hole. Dugan's Hole is one of the 10 towns. If we just, I'm going to sneak you guys quickly over to the main Icewind Dale map, just so we can take a look at where Dugan's Hole is. It's really far south there.
I don't know if I really want to.
No. Dugan's Hole is really far south. It's the southernmost hole.
Is it where the words come from?
So you can see.
You gotta take Dugan's taint.
You can see Dugan's Hole down there.
Oh, I see it now.
Yeah, you see it. It's at the bottom there. So Kindar, you overhear these guys. They just brought in a catch from Dugan's Hole.
I don't want to eat it.
They put their poles down in Dugan's Hole, and they caught some stuff. Well, I don't understand what is so funny, you guys. Long story short, the guy who's coming from Dugan's Hole is like he's like super grateful that he was able to make it into Bryn Shander with his catch of Knucklehead for the day, because Dugan's Hole has been, like, people in Dugan's Hole have been living in fear of these two giant winter wolves that kind of are patrolling the outskirts of the town. You catch things like that they're as big as horses, and that they're like smarter than normal wolves, and they seem to be like actively like stalking people from this town. And that's like this little rumor that you catch drifting over the conversations happening at the North Look. So if you ever want to get down there and really explore Dugan's Hole, really spread it apart, right? Just find every secret. Now you know.
I feel like there's a word for a joke here too.
Just make sure you're protected. It's very cold.
Yeah.
It's very windy.
Make sure you wear a coat.
Let's make a wolf coat. New plan.
I bring some of Vor's hair oil.
That'll stop him.
I don't think that would make things go easy.
Alright, I'm gonna refrain from taking that further. So only Kindar knows that at the moment while me and Vor are talking.
Yeah, you just overheard it. Yeah, now Kindar has that information. Okay, so you want to then head to the Black Iron Blades then? Is that the next stop here?
Yep.
Did you guys left the remains of Ubak there, right? The dwarf that died to the Yeti? You didn't scoop up his body or anything, did you? Okay.
Yeah, we checked to see if there was anything that was distinguishing about the corpse, but there wasn't.
Okay.
So we just left it.
Where's Mini Bulba when you need?
Like a frozen scene from It, or no, The Thing, basically.
The thing, yeah.
Alrighty. So you head down to the Black Iron Blades, and you meet again here with Hruna. Hruna's the one who gave you the quest to begin with. And she was also there with Corax. He was missing 3 fingers, looked pretty rough. And then Storn, he's the one who was like really frightened by old Bitey. So you meet with them, and Hruna is super grateful that you're able to return the ingots. And I believe she started that you guys demanded half. So she gave you 3 bloodstones, and she gives you the other 3 bloodstones as promised. Those are worth 50 gold apiece. And she also gives you 15 gold pieces for returning within the week. So you returned quickly with the goods, so you got an extra 15 gold. Those are in a Yeti fur-lined leather pouch.
Ooh. How much is it worth?
It doesn't have a value attached here to it, so it's worth 1 gold piece.
So it's worth whatever I can get.
It's worth 30,000 gold pieces. My God, it's incredible.
It's a rare find.
There you go. Yeah. So and also there at the Black Iron Blades, you now have a 10% discount on goods. So you basically earn some reputation. If this was an MMO,
Nice.
you'd have some rep here with Garn the Hammer. He's a dwarf that's there, the proprietor of the place.
I'd write his name down in a little ledger that I keep.
Garn the Hammer.
And then at some point, I'd like to have a little chat with him about whether he makes items for sell or if it's mainly contracted or special orders.
Yeah, so you ask him that?
Yeah.
And yeah, he's like, I sell adventuring supplies. We have some rations. There's some cold weather gear. Looks like you folks are all set. Got a couple of ice picks. We got some snowshoes. Only the finest stuff here at the Black Iron Blades.
I was just curious because, we met I guess you can call him merchant, up north a little ways, and he really had poor quality equipment. I'm just thinking that maybe, we could do a little business, being of the, myself being Vlor of the Spark Your Interest Trading Company. Maybe we can make a deal and spread your wares elsewhere.
I mean, if you wanna buy my gear and sell it elsewhere, I'm all about that.
We'll definitely keep an eye out for a need in other places, and I can send you word if that becomes a.
Yeah, he seems like really amenable to that. Like, you almost got him thinking, Gusto. Like, I could open up a location in Bremen or something. You know what I mean? Like, you sparked some ideas in his head that maybe he didn't even have before.
Or did he lure the spark things?
You've lured the spark his interest in opening up some other places.
We'll definitely have to talk about exclusivity agreements and things like that. But definitely something that we can discuss later.
Well, that sounds great. So yeah, Black Iron Blades, weapons, cold weather supplies, other kind of adventuring supplies, ice picks, snowshoes, rations, that kind of thing. All available there. And I'll get you maybe like a full list of what's available at Black Iron Blades as a shop. And I'll post it on our group Discord chat so you guys can take a look, so that you know that anytime you're in Bryn Shander, that's something that's available to you, and you specifically have a discount there as well. So that's pretty cool.
Sweet.
Now at this moment, like at some point, get like spare winter clothes after last time before we leave here.
Yeah, and extra winter clothes. Not a bad idea, for sure. I think that actually winter clothes are 10 gold. So like the real winter clothes are 10 gold. And so it'll be 9 gold with your 10% discount.
Nice.
That's something you want. You can do that. Otherwise, any other interaction with anybody at the shop? What would you guys like to do now?
I'd like to ask about mobility. If they have horse and carriage, and how much, or horse and sled.
Yeah, so there are no. There's the way to get around in 10 towns is there's no horses. It's not by horse. A horse can't really function in the snow.
Yeah.
So yeah, they have one old diabetic horse. It's like, oh, old Elmo 3, he'll be good for you. Crossover from our other campaign. Oops, almost killed 2 horses. I'm just looking now. Vlor, because it's a great question and we're going to need to have some answers for it. I don't think it's
sled dogs
here. Yeah, there's definitely sled dogs. Absolutely, you can rent or buy a team of sled dogs. Unfortunately, for one person, that's about 8 dogs.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you'd be looking at like roughly 40 dogs you'd all have to take care of if you all want to travel by sled dog.
Roughly.
Dog
Isn't
sled.
there like that ostrich kind of thing that you mentioned before?
Yes. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
what I was looking for as well. Which is that the other way to get around in 10 towns is by these like giant flightless birds that people ride.
Chocobos.
And just yes, exactly. Yes, it's chocobos. There we go. Getting around 10 towns.
They don't care if you find the real name for them. They are chocobos.
They are called axe beaks.
Ugh.
An axe beak's splayed toes allow it to run across the snow. It can carry as much weight as a mule. And you can purchase them. Like the proprietor of the Black Iron Blades says he knows a guy. Yeah. You want an axe beak? I can get you an axe beak. To purchase your own axe beak is 50 gold pieces, and they have quite an expensive upkeep as well. About 2 gold pieces a day in food. Oof. They eat 2 gold pieces a day.
What if we feed them silver pieces?
It's a lot more. They have to eat a lot more. But yeah, he can find you an axe beak. It'd be 50 gold. And then they have an upkeep as well. But those are the 2 ways to really get around if you don't want to hoof it.
Looks like we're going to have to hoof it for a little while longer.
How much is a bloodstone worth?
Those bloodstones are worth... I don't know. Sorry, I have like 1,000 windows open here.
Same.
Okay. Here we go. The bloodstones are worth 10 gold apiece.
Yeah, no, no XP.
No, I'm sorry.
Anytime soon.
50 gold apiece. 50 gold apiece.
Hmm.
You just feed it one bloodstone and it's good for 25 days.
Neo, thank you so much, dude, for the 20 months. I'm gonna roll your D4 right now for that sub. Thank you so much, Neo Crawler. Let's see here. What was it? It's a 2. Neo, you can give that 2 to any one of our players. Any one of our players who you'd like to get that extra 2. Thank you so much for the 20 months, dude. That's a super long sub. Okay. What next?
So, what are our plans now?
Well, we should probably get a little bit of rest after this long day.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
exhausted.
that should be first.
Why don't we count the money first?
You never
Split
count
that
your
up.
money when you're sitting at the table.
I heard a bard named Kenny Rogers sing that once.
Ah, yes, the famous bard Kenny Rogers.
So back to the inn, have a drink of water.
Yes, water.
Wink.
Okay, back to the inn. Yeah, I can imagine like some revelry here, right? A little bit of, like I said, you completed like a quest of something important. This was weighing on you for a while. Jordy, you don't have to pull the giant sled anymore. You have a little bit of gold in your pockets now. You had a little bit. Now you have a little bit more. As a party, you just earned just over 300 gold pieces basically for that quest. So you have the benefit of that. You have a few leads as to maybe what you'd like to do next. Of course, you know about this fortress, whatever you want to call it, that's out near Kelvin's Cairn. You know about that. So that's something that's you have potential to be able to return to if you need to. You know that there's some thievery happening in Caer Konig. The townspeaker asked if you would investigate. You said maybe we'll come back and do that. Kindar, you overheard that there might be something going on with Dugan's Hole. It's dark and mysterious down there, so you're never quite sure.
Sounds like a pretty hairy situation.
It really does.
There we go.
It really does. All right, Cleo, +2. So GH, if you don't use it, then it'll go over to Sunflower. Thank you so much, Neo. Thank you, dude. But I imagine this is a time to decompress a little bit. You know, maybe Jordy has one too many. Kindar, maybe even I can see you being serious, but also getting into the festivities somewhat a little bit here. Cleo up on stage, performing. Do you have a song written, GH?
No.
You're like this is a cover. This is a cover song. Get fucked.
I'd like to sing the bard Kenny Rogers' favorite song.
You gotta know when to hold.
Yep, that's what I do.
A song called Tribute.
It's just a tribute.
So
yeah.
while we're sitting at the table and Cleo's up there doing her thing, I'd like to gather the guys around and say, look, we got us an enterprise. If you guys want in, we'll give you 10%. We could run this gear all the way up the coast. That dude's shop is destroyed, so they're going to need somebody else to supply. I think we can make some money here. Maybe even if we get rid of the cult, we could probably set up shop there. Make some money. What do you say?
I don't think I want to be involved with your dark money.
I'm stuck on the part where you say 10% and then we run. When I pulled this 600-pound sled all the way up there.
Well,
we've got pulling hundreds of pounds for 10%.
Well, we've got some capital now, and we can probably get us an axe beak. to pool the gear. I think it could be very lucrative. I mean, granted, we'll have to do some work, get rid of some thieves, get rid of some cultists, but I think we can make it lucrative.
Possibly, but it's very risky out here because everyone's looking to get a cut. Literally.
Oh. That's why we have you, Jordy. You can give them all the cuts they're looking for.
I was going to take more than 10%.
I think we can negotiate.
All right, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Because you never know what we'll run into up here.
What about you, Kendar? You want in?
Sounds like you want to be killing a bunch of innocent people and some people who we don't even know yet. I don't know if I want to be involved with something. You know
what? Nobody said anything about killing people.
You said you wanted to take care of the cult, take care of thieves. You destroyed a shop, an entire shop. That was some innocent guy's shop, and now your true intentions are coming out.
Well,
How many
no.
You're going to be destroying on the way.
I mean, we don't have to destroy anything. I mean, the main goal is to supply.
When to walk away. No.
I hear that as a sign, and
no, but I think that the cultists, I mean, if they're taking all the resources from the people there, wouldn't it benefit the people to get rid of the cultists, whether have them locked up or whatever? I mean, free the people, right?
How do we even know all the people there even are working for the cult? We haven't even talked to anybody there. We just
maybe the people aren't working for the cult. Maybe we need to free the people from the cult.
Why don't we figure out what's going on a little bit more before I start getting into some deals? We just met. You destroyed some shopkeeper's shop. That was horrible. We're lucky that we got that we were able to meet Trovis and that he got us off the hook there. But with everything that's happened in the last couple of days, I don't know if I'm ready to just start business with you.
Oh my god, Neocrawler. Woo! Neocrawler just dropped in the 10 gift subs on us out there. Holy shit, Neo. Thank you so much, dude. Holy cow. Remco, Nina's Nuggets, Oakley's, Dead Butterfly, Virginia, there's a Real Life Unicorn, Sun Solar, Lolita, and Heather86. Holy shit, Neo. Thank you so much, man.
You get a D4 and you get a D4 and you get a D4.
Magic for everyone.
That's some subs out there, Neo. Thank you so much, dude. Holy shit. We're gonna hear this go
hours
on
a daylight.
Yeah, oh my god, the sun comes out.
Use it as you please.
You defeated the Frostmaiden. Arl the Frostmaiden just falls dead from the sky. Hey, we got her.
That's right. That's right.
That was easy.
There. Right and center down.
All right, we're playing D&D, right?
All right.
Oh yeah.
Who know what else could be?
I thought we were playing poker.
You never count your money. Are you sitting at the table?
When in fact, that's exactly what I'm doing.
Something else that could be lucrative is finding out what those Dwergar were doing. Because if I know dwarves, they're always looking for some way to get some gold. And Dwergar will do whatever they want to get it. So perhaps we could ask someone back here about any Dwergar activity. Because I'm sure they must have had some kind of mind up there. And we could possibly do some business on the way up there, if we find out anything about them.
I would like to tell Jordy and Vor here about the conversation I overheard about Dugan's Hole.
And I imagine that Cleo just finished. I don't know how the gambler ends.
I don't know how to.
G chord.
Boing! And so
And the
Cleo's
So, yeah,
down
tell-
too.
tell everybody about
it. Okay.
So you guys are all have this information.
And yeah, I'd like to explain. Maybe we could earn some trust with these people. It sounds like everyone's having some trouble getting from town to town here, and that's only going to hurt us in the future if we don't take care of what's going on there. So I would like to maybe investigate what's going on down there, and maybe earn some trust with the people. And maybe if we can do that, then we can talk business more.
And if we can tame those wolves, we can ride them like horses.
It's
I
true.
like the way you think.
I don't. You must be new around here. I'm a wolf. That's the size of a horse.
It's fine. It's fine.
That's terrorizing an entire town.
Not a big fan of the big dogs, huh?
Not if they're controlling an entire town. That's a little suspicious.
They're pretty smart. They should be reasonable.
But before we leave here, perhaps we should ask our associates if they knew anything about the Dwergar activity that was relatively close to where we found the ingots. If they're still here. If not, we can ask the smith.
Yeah, so you're still over at Black Iron Blades. The I don't remember the Black Iron Blades dude's name. What's his name? You wrote it down, didn't you, Vlor?
Not his name.
Garn.
Earn the hammer.
He knows nothing. He knows nothing. He's like, I haven't left Bryn Shander in weeks. The other dwarves there are actually from the Dwarven Valley, part of Clan Battlehammer, and they are almost defiant that there's no way that there's Dwergar that is set up that shop that closely to the shield dwarves of Clan Battlehammer. There's no way we would know about it. You must be mistaken.
What they had set up there was very new from what I could tell. So they couldn't have been there long. They could have, I don't know how fast they could build. They could have just got there recently before we got there, for all we know. Because we don't know what kind of machinery they had. We heard all kinds of noises while we were there resting.
And again, they're just like, I think that if Dwergar set up shop that close to us, that we would know it. Like, kind of lots of pride there, right? Jordy gets it.
I remember why I left there.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, it's like very prideful. Like they would never. The Dwergar are filth. They would never be able to. They're stupid. They would never be able to get even just a camp, let alone a fortress that close to us. There's no way.
Jordy is just like exacerbated, just sitting there, just like, alright, if you say so. Fucking dwarves.
He can say that because he is one.
Right? That's our word.
Maybe. So Garn didn't know anything. Maybe Garn knows someone that might know something.
You're asking him specifically about the you guys that you're just kind of like emphatically telling him like, no, we saw these Dwergar in the hills.
Yeah, wondering if anyone anyone else has gone up in that area. Maybe anyone that does business over there.
All right. Let's see.
Maybe like another person in town. Maybe I don't know.
So, sorry, I'm just trying to find the right.
You're good. This is like super specific.
I have a lot of tiny little windows open here that I'm having to move around and stuff.
Man, if we were able to get his arm, bet they'd believe us then.
What?
The Dwergar arm?
Yeah.
Probably had to need his head,
Yeah. Well.
beard, and everything. I'm assuming they have like reddish eyes because they just live underground.
There's like there's a certain like table that I'm looking for that I can't find in here now.
Coffee table.
So I apologize. It's just like there's I want to be able to to give you the correct information here, Jackson, because you've earned it. But I wasn't expecting it to pop up now, and now I can't actually find the thing that I'm looking for.
Yeah, I imagine there's a lot since this is like a choose your own adventure thing.
It's massive. Yeah, it's massive. So let me do this. I'm just gonna close a bunch of this stuff. We're gonna try again. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Why won't this open now? Oh great. Let me reload this. You guys are all gonna
why is this
disappear.
happening?
You guys are all gonna disappear for a second. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. I mean, if you guys want to role play or talk to each other or
Yeah, I was
figure out what
gonna
you're gonna
ask.
do next, I'm more than excited for that while I figure this out.
I don't remember if anyone ever asked how like Kindar ended up here, since we knew that he was at Care Koenig? One of the cares, the cult care, and how he ended up here.
How I ended up in the 10 towns.
In this town, Brimshander, from there to here.
Oh, I had just been wandering the towns. You know, I'm trying to get a lot of information about you know, some things that are related to my past, and so I had just been wandering around, and then I gotten picked up and brought to the cult, and then wanted to after I had escaped from the cult, I wanted to get away from there. I knew Bryn Chandra was a lot safer, and so that's kind of settled here.
Related to your past, you say?
Do
Are
so.
you- yeah. Are you looking for your past or just pieces of it?
I'm looking for home, to be honest. I'm looking for I've never had a sense of home anywhere, and I'm trying to find that. And I've explored the whole world, and I've never been to 10 towns, and so that's kind of why I came here, because I felt that something might be here that could tell me a little bit more about what you know about my home, about like where I can get that sense of home. So
That is pretty common around here. They feel like they have nowhere else to go, so they try to find something here.
something like that. Yep.
Anybody want to go check out a hole?
You know, specifically Dugan's.
Yeah,
I-
Dugan's hole.
I give Cleo the eye.
All right,
Okay, I
found
mostly just want to see if I can ride a wolf. That's mostly what I'm in for.
Okay, so Gary, I don't remember.
Garn.
What's the guy's name? Okay, yeah.
Darn.
Not Gary. What a stupid name that is. Garn. Love you. Okay. Oh no, I lost literally
God.
all cameras.
Oh
Oh,
no!
God.
Oh no!
I see
Oh,
them
no.
all gone.
Oh my
How did this
God.
happen?
I don't know. I'm having some terrible difficulties with Roll20 tonight. Yeah, it looks like nobody's connected right now.
Oh no.
Yeah, for me, it's just.
Yeah,
my
I just got an
camera.
error. So your connection to the server has been interrupted. Anything you do right now will attempt to send
Oh
you
yeah,
an
it looks
email
like
back online.
Roll20 is just plain old down, which is just great. So good.
Guess
Who
we're
is this?
gonna just
Work done.
spend all our money doing this all night. Here we go. One. This will be fine. Just gotta do it. Just gotta cycle through them.
Here, I'll do this real quick.
Oh, I see Vlor a little bit, sort of.
Yeah, same.
Oh
I see
yeah.
four of
Be a warning
error
symbol.
symbol.
He's frozen with yeah, he's got an error symbol. seems about right.
I'm just gonna put everybody's. You guys can flip your webcams off if you wanna. I'll just put everybody's picture up. Okay. That, and floor. That. Okay. Yeah, I can kind of see all of your cameras now, but it's still like everybody's errored out. But in any case, yeah, the pictures are cool anyway. And we only have like 30 minutes left, so. Sorry, this has been plagued by technical difficulties. So you asked him about the, if you'd heard anything about Kelvin's cairn.
Yeah, or like if he knows anyone that has like done anything around Kelvin's cairn.
And so what you know, what he knows is that there's like an expedition that is excuse me. I just want to make sure I have the town correct. You know that there's an expedition from the town of Targus. He knows that there's an expedition from the town of Targus that is going out to do some exploration around Kelvin's cairn. That's all he knows about Kelvin. You know, he's like, and even that is just kind of like, well, I heard about Targus sending an expedition out there, and Targus is this town that's pretty close to Bryn Shander. You can see it here on our Icewind Dale map. But that's all that's what he knows about that.
Another option we could do. We could talk to the expedition, maybe go out there with the expedition. Go figure out that. Because that was... something's going on there. And Cleo left a little mark on a rock, I believe.
Yeah, you maybe could track that down.
That's an option.
Okay, everybody still with me here?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. I can't see your shining faces anymore, so you gotta. Do you want to stay out and about here? Do you want to go back to your inn? Do you want to leave Bryn Shander right now? It's up to you. It is like sort of, evening time.
I could do with one less exhaustion.
Oh, that's true. Everybody still has to.
Yeah,
You
we
have
have-
2 stacks. Everybody else has 1. So with
And
one
we got
more
that.
long rest.
Free room and board.
That's
Is
true.
there any places here that might sell? I know it's a long shot, but any type of magical items? Anything? Maybe a church or anything like that?
Yeah, so do you ask around there at the Black Iron Blades? You ask Garn?
I'd ask Jordy first, since he's kind of knows the area a little bit.
Yeah, so Jordy, you are aware of the House of the Morning Lord, which is here. It's the only kind of religious place in town. As far as like
Sort of.
magic shop, no.
Yeah.
So there's a House of the Morning Lord, but I'm not a very religious dwarf, so I don't know much about it.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, you aren't a dwarf.
Oh, shirtless dwarf.
Your impressions are pretty good, Cleo.
Thank you.
Maybe we'll stop by there on the way out when we decide to head out.
Yeah, we could. I would like to buy some extra winter clothes before we leave here, after last time.
Okay, that'll be 9 gold pieces, please.
Did anyone else want more winter clothes?
We're heading
You don't
out
even
on a bit of
wear
a
them.
warm-
What are you
a
talking
warm
about?
spree right now. Got a little bit of a heat wave going on here, so I'm good.
Alright, So Jordy will buy a spare thing of winter clothes.
Okay, go ahead and add it
For
to
9
your,
gold.
Add to your list. Take away 9 gold. That's fine. GH, totally fine. Yeah, let Sunflower decide whether she wants to purchase anything here or not. You just spend all of her money. I bought a bunch of candy. I sold all of your gear and bought a bunch of candy.
Who needs
Ooh,
snow
piece of
shoes?
candy.
Now you got candy.
Hey, what happened to my leather armor? All I have are good and plenty now.
No,
God.
that's a bad one.
I
Good,
bought
good and
Swedish
plenty's
fish.
good and plenty's only 50% correct for. There's plenty of them.
Swedish fish.
There's
Like
plenty
knucklehead
of them.
fish candy.
Okay, and plenty.
I wouldn't even go that far.
Mediocre and plenty.
That's even generous.
Just plenty. That's the name
Yeah,
now. Just plenty.
just plenty.
Just plenty.
How many are in there? Plenty.
Plenty.
Plenty. Waffle Cone, don't tell me you like good and plenties. That's the worst. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, you buy some candy, some gummy knucklehead trouts. It's like it's a novelty candy.
Bright red.
10 Towns trout. Like Swedish fish. Only more disgusting and fish flavored.
Yeah, and they're fish flavored.
And because they're actually fish.
Actually, just little pieces of knucklehead trout.
Okay, so back to the inn.
Yeah.
All right. All right, get back to the inn. We'll hand wave it a little bit. Everybody remove the last stack of exhaustion besides Cleo, who's now going to go down to 1 exhaustion. Everybody else with the benefit of a second long rest. And let's think about it here for a second. First night here in Bryn Shander. Second day on the road all the way up to Caer Konig. Third day, leave Caer Konig in search of the dwarves and get into that fight with the goblins and the wolves. There's 2 fights in that day. Wake up on day 4 and start to make your way back towards Caer Konig, but get lost in the blizzard, and then make your way to the fortress in the mountain. Take like a half day there, basically. So now we're sort of on day 5 because you travel throughout the night to get to Caer Konig, blow up the shop. So that's day 6, and then day 7 was spent on your way back here. So you now have been in 10 towns, Cleo and Gusto, for a week. But our campaign is now 7 days long. So little milestone there at the start of our campaign. You guys have been traveling now and back in Bryn Shander, and it's been a week. As you come down to the Northlook common room on your in the morning, you guys all sit down and eat breakfast, I would assume.
Yeah.
More knucklehead trout.
More trout, yeah. Only trout. Actually, I think that this might be canon in the books where the trout is actually like really gross. The only reason that they have the trout is because it has that big like ivory skull that they carve things out of. You guys are sitting there eating breakfast, and a bundled up figure walks briskly up to you. Well met. You lot seem like you're looking for work or trouble. I don't think we'd find you here at the Northlook otherwise. You look up, and the speaker is a half-elf. She has glasses. Looks like she has like a little pack she's carrying with her. And she's carrying like an armful of books, scrolls.
Jordy kind of looks just kind of like a little suspicious, because he's kind of usually suspicious of everyone after living here. He's like, "Oi, what about it?"
Well, I heard that you helped those shield dwarfs. You brought back that giant cart of ingots. Boy, you were hauling that right through town last night.
Yup, and I still got the bruises to prove it.
And she says, I think I can bring an end to this eternal winter. But I'm going to need your help. Are you looking for work?
That's a mighty bold statement there.
And so she kind of pushes up her glasses, and she, just without asking, just sits down and starts to spread out scrolls and open up books. And she's showing you that she thinks that there's these little, these like little spirits, these little winter spirits called chwingas. 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 And she wants to study one of these little elementals, these little dudes. And she's willing to pay you if you're able to bring one back. She says she's like, I want this to be very clear. I don't want you to hurt the spirits. But if you can bring one back without hurting him, then I'll be able to pay you, and we'll be able to do the research that might bring an end to this eternal winter.
What about these spirits makes you think that that they're causing this? What have you observed so far?
I think that they have the ability to change their surroundings. There's definitely magic about them. But other than that, I would need to study them. I would need more research. I can tell you that there's no I can tell you that there's none of these spirits here in Bryn Shander. But where they are throughout the 10 towns, I don't know.
What is your name? And also, good morning.
Good morning. My name is Danica Greysteel.
Okay. Okay, Danica. I need more coffee.
What type of research are you going to be doing?
I'm going to hook their nipples up to a car battery and then see.
Georgie gets up so, alright, I've heard this one before.
Oh, there needs to be a warning. Giggle shits warning.
Do you think you can do the research on me? In the most serious
I can
face
try
ever.
I mean, Cleric of the Tempest. That would be up his alley.
I don't know precisely what I'll be able to learn, but I do firmly believe that they are the key to unlocking this mystery.
How would we capture ice elemental exactly?
I'm so glad you asked. She reaches into her pack, Jordy, and out from her pack she pulls out a lantern. And the lantern is like, it kind of looks like your standard everyday lantern, really. But it doesn't look like there's any place to like put fuel in, Jordy. It's something you notice like right away. You know, normally there'd be like a place at the bottom to put like, you know, whale blubber or whatever, some kind of oil to light the lamp, but there doesn't seem to be anything like that. And she says, this is a lantern of tracking. So not only will I be able to reward you if you are able to bring back a chwinga, but you can keep this lantern as well. This will help you track down. This lantern will glow green if you're in a settlement that has chwingas in it. As you can see, it's not glowing now. I've searched all around Bryn Shander, but I'm no adventurer. I mean, look at you. Your group is strong, and you know you have battle scars from the road. Think of how I would do out there.
You're no adventurer. Where did you get that lantern?
This lantern I purchased the lantern in hopes that I'd be able to find the chwingas here, but no such luck.
I said where?
I bought this lantern in Luskin.
I want to do perception.
Yeah, do a perception check.
Can I also do an insight check?
Sure.
Or just going to leave the thinking to the other people.
Oof. I don't know shit.
No idea. You feel like she's telling the truth. Gusto,
Oh, wow.
7. Yeah, you have no reason to believe that she's not telling the truth.
How about a detect magic?
A detect magic? Sure, absolutely.
Magic detected.
Yep. I do a detect magic.
Okay. And what does that tell you?
Detect magic. If you sense magic, let's see, can see a faint aura around the item. And I get to learn the school of magic that it is.
Alrighty. Yeah, so you detect magic on this, and it is indeed a lantern of tracking. You can tell with your detect magic that it is set up to detect elementals. So it lines up with her story. I don't. Do you need to know what school of magic it is?
No.
It is a lantern of tracking.
Being part of the church, would I know anything about these other spirits?
Would you know anything about the Schwingas? The Chwingas?
Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, I mean they're elementals, so you can give me an Arcana check.
Okay.
In the meantime, I'd like to ask Danica to get me another cup of coffee with a persuasion check.
You want her to get it?
Yeah.
Sure, you can persuade. I'll tell you what, she's so nice that she actually gets up and gets you a cup of coffee, a warm cup of coffee. And I'm sorry, what was that check for? Oh, is this Arcana?
Yeah.
And you're just asking about Schwingas.
Yeah. Would I know about them? Being part of the church, I don't know if I'd know anything about other spirits or anything like that. Or
You know a few things. What you know, Gusto, is like kind of from rumor and old wives' tale. More than what you would have found out from the church. You know that they are. You know, you've never seen one. You know that they're rumored to be these tiny elemental spirits that live in plants, rocks, rivers, generally far from civilization. You know that they're like super shy. They're supposed to be super shy. They look like 6-inch tall, like animated dolls almost. They're like really spindly limbs, wild, kind of ethereal hair. So that's what you know about them.
Okay.
So would these Chwingas come willingly? I'd assume not.
She's like, I've never met one. I've never seen one. I came to Ten Towns because I was told that they were here, and it made sense with all the happenings that are going on up here. I feel like they might be the key, but I don't know if they'll come willingly or not. I mean, I just don't know.
We'll just bribe them.
That's the spirit.
I mean, that's
Quite literally. So, this research, it's not going to hurt them, right?
Absolutely not. And you guys should not hurt them either. I don't want to see them hurt. It's very important.
But what I'm worried about is if they might hurt us. Because these are magical ice creatures, and typically that's not a good sign around here.
Everything that I've ever heard about a Schwinga says that they're gentle, and I don't think you have much to fear. I mean, you look like a strong man. A strong dwarf, I should say. These are little 6-inch tall sprites.
Oh, but magic is magic, no matter how big
you're
they
right.
are.
You're right. You're right to be cautious.
Why don't you come with us if you're not afraid of them?
I have research here in Bryn Shander to do, and I will not leave Bryn Shander. I am no adventurer.
I thought your research was on the Schwingas.
It is. It's not the only thing I'm researching here. Look. And she points to all the scrolls and books and stuff that she's looking over.
I
Is there
need more
anything
coffee.
interesting there?
Why don't you give me a perception check for it? Just looking over, just quickly, like looking at the scrolls and some of the books and things that she has. Great roll. 22 on perception. Yeah, so you kind of just glance over, and it really, to you, like the stuff that she's looking at is like scholarly research. You've seen your fair share of like pseudoscience and pseudo magic and pseudo spiritualism and stuff on your travels, Gusto. This stuff seems like pretty legit scholarly research, and most of it is geared toward ending a curse, ending curses, how to end curses.
Anything about starting curses? Or where curses are coming from?
Not in your glance through it, maybe on a more detailed read of it. You might be able to find some more specific stuff like that. But the general gist of what she has for research indicates that she's believes this is some kind of a curse, and her research is geared on how to end that curse.
Okay.
Do you happen to know anything about giant intelligent ice wolves? Or heard about them?
She's like really taken aback. It's like, and no, but I'd sure like to meet one.
You should come with us.
Or perhaps if we go down there and look into that, we might bring something back for you. Because
That's
I'm sure there has
exciting
to be
And you
some
might
kind of
pay us
magic
for it.
with that.
So will you keep your eyes out then? You don't have to drop everything and start looking for these creatures, but will you take the lantern? Will you keep your eye out? If you're able to bring one back, I'll reward you. You can also keep the lantern, no questions asked.
Alright. Sounds okay to me.
You know what would really convince me? Another cup of coffee.
She already has one. She slides it across to you. She's like wide-eyed, like really excited.
Yeah, seems reasonable to me.
Jordy, you could clip this to your coat.
I guess it's a nipple clamp.
I'll just hang off my crest.
Okay, so
Hair.
Jordy, you have the lantern of tracking.
Alright.
Tied
Does
into your
Jordan
beard.
have nipples?
We could.
I didn't
could
draw
put it-
nipples, but
Well, his beard probably covers them.
okay.
Nipple beard.
That's what I assume. I assume he just has a massive beard because he just lives out in the cold.
Or his nipples fell off. That's the other.
Yeah, also his
possible.
nipples have fallen off.
The Great Blizzard of 22.
Okay, guys. Another lead, another piece of information here, another thing to possibly pursue. It's the start of a new day. What's the plan? You have quite a few different threads here.
I
that you
vote
could
smart
pursue.
wolf or thief.
Yeah, so let's go over every option you have now as a party. Just to give you it's a survey of what you could possibly follow up on. So here's what you know. You know that somebody's stealing some shit in Kerkonik. You know that from what Kindar says, there's some kind of a cult activity in Caer-Dineval at the castle there. You have heard rumors about some giant, like, intelligent wolves around Dugan's Hole that are terrorizing the community. You know that Targus is organizing some kind of a expedition to Kelvin's Cairn. And now you are also on the lookout to see if your lantern ever lights up. As you look for these chwingas for Danica Greysteel. So those are the sort of things that you know. And also there's that fortress out near Kelvin's Cairn as well that you know about. What would you like to do? I mean, take some time to talk about it amongst yourselves too. As to what you'd like to pursue next.
So with the expedition, we could talk to them and maybe go to Kelvin Cairn with them and explore it with them. If we do that, the
Okay.
Ice Wolves could also tie into Danica. Because she might be, if they're intelligent, there's probably some magic going on there.
Plot twist, they're the Chewingas.
Katrinka's riding them around. The cult might have something to do with Ariel herself.
That's possible.
I'd assume if it's a cult, they probably have something to do. Probably have something to do or know about the Eternal Night. But what I remember is that the Dwergar said something about a sunblight, which I assume is related to the Eternal Night. So they might also be doing something for Ariel. Because after the dwarf dropped down the hatch, he said, the sunblight will get us all. So there might be more happening there than just like mining and stealing like from the other dwarves.
Yeah, they could be putting together something then, and that's why the curse has begun.
Yeah, and they could be doing something more. Sunblight might be something like the next stage of it. I'm not sure. But going back up there could be rough, going in that hatch and whatnot.
Yeah, I like imagine that just from a character standpoint, like the last thing that you guys probably want to do at this point is head back out into the wilderness, right? Even though you're better, maybe in a little bit better preparedness wise now to know what to expect, it's still got to be back of your mind like, Jesus, we almost died out there.
Yeah, that's why I'd want to go. If we do go up back there, I wouldn't want to go with the expedition. Like try to convince the expedition to take us up there with them, because I assume they're probably far more prepared than we were.
Cleo's still a bit exhausted too.
True, Cleo still has one stack of exhaustion.
Yeah, could be worse.
With Targos, with the expeditions going on in Kelvin's Cairn, they'd probably, to me, have something to do with what's going on with this fortress that's been built. So
yeah, so let's get into your characters' heads a little bit here. We're about to call it a session, but before we do, and maybe even before you guys make a decision, we'll let Sunflower come back for the next session and have some input. Hopefully with the benefit of having watched this session, the video. So, Zund, Kindar, what do you think he is right now? You're back in civilization here, but more questions than answers. Where do you think Kindar stands on what he would like to do next, regardless of where the rest of the party is and would like to do?
Well, Kindar is definitely interested in getting more information, so would probably like to go to Targos to figure out what's going on with the expeditions there. However, knowing that there is trouble going on and not being okay with trouble, he's also okay with going out of going to get people to maybe help get people safe to feel a little bit safer going from one town to another.
So you're leaning Targus to check out the expedition, but then maybe also we could go see what the Winter Wolf thing is about.
Correct.
Okay. Gusto, Vlor, what do you think Gusto is? I understand, like, you have some sort of entrepreneur aspirations, but short of that, as far as the party, where do you think Gusto is right now?
Yeah, Gusto not doing a whole lot with his abilities. Probably does not feel ready to take on the Dwergar. I think maybe taking on some smaller tasks would probably be a better idea. And I think we could take on the wolves, and I mean, if we could even tame them, that would be, right up his alley. So I think that's probably where he's leaning.
Okay. And Jordy, what do you think? Where's your head right now as far as what you think Jordy would like to do
feel
next?
Jordy, like, even though he left Battlehammer and kind of like separated himself from the other dwarves, he probably still has that like little bit of hatred for Dwargard.
Oh, sure.
So that's
Yeah, I think
probably
it's
why he's
built
like,
in. Yeah.
like he's kind of fixated on that, but he also is aware that like Dwargar, there's going to be no joke going down there against Dwargar that can see perfectly and live in holes, like in the ground.
Right.
So like it's saying that like he might not be prepared to deal with that. So, and the Ice Wolves, he thinks might be able to tie into Danica and kind of like what Cleo was getting at, to get more money, learn a bit more about like what's going on, because the Ice Wolves probably have something to do with Ariel, that since they got like just are intelligent and massive, and he knows that maybe someone could be able to talk to him, because he knows like a lot of people come in through towns they worked in. Some people can work with animals, so maybe one of them could like try to figure out, like actually talk to the Ice Wolves, or like figure out something, have them show them something, because these intelligent Ice Wolves have to, if they're controlling a whole town, they have to have something else going on.
Yeah, and I feel like Jordy even has like some kinship to not only the dwarves but just the people of 10 Towns. I mean, you are a resident here, so you must feel like like you're not feeling like you're the Lord Protector or anything like that, but if there's something you could do to maybe better the situation there, or if you feel like people are in trouble, I can see Jordy being like, yeah, let's go help the people. I mean, I can absolutely see that. So it sounds like we're leaning towards Winter Wolves. We're leaning towards that hole. Gamer Heroine, tell us where your psyche is right now. Not Cleo's, just you generally.
Oh, me?
Yeah. Tell us how you're feeling, GH.
A little sleepy.
Okay.
It's bedtime almost. Probably use some more water. There was some rum and eggnog before we started today.
Okay. Not a fan of eggnog. Not a big fan.
What about rum and eggnog?
I just don't like eggnog. I just don't think it tastes good.
What about just rum?
Just rum, sure. I'm in. Okay, guys. I think we're gonna call it there. I think we hit a big milestone today, though. Not only have we been adventuring now for a week, in game time, you completed, basically your first big quest, right? You got paid for it. I feel like we ended this session now with a lot more branches, to give you a lot more options as to what you want to do now. You were kind of singularly focused with that first quest, which I think is appropriate. Now, now you have some options as to what you're going to do next. And there's a lot of just the tip of the iceberg type mysteries that you've uncovered. So thank you guys so much. We'll be back here with our hashtag regular bard 2 weeks from today. But I thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next time.